So successful Dolphin action today. Happy for Dolphin fans everywhere, especially Alex, as always.
A 52-yard field goal trying to break a tie. And the kick is up, and it's going to be good from 52. Miami zeroes in, the clock has won on a game-winning 52-yard field goal. In zone 20, it goes back first and 10 to a Thunderbolt. Armstead the block, he's going deep. He's caught Hill. Full race, driving, 36. Oh, he's a ghost. 80-yard touchdown. Everybody wants you. On the sideline, he goes. Touchdown.
Yeah, it's a short week for Josh Allen, so we will see what is going to happen there, keeping up with the latest on Pro Football Talk. All right, let's talk about Miami and the Jaguars. Tyreek Hill, remember earlier this morning he was detained by police outside of Hard Rock Stadium for a traffic violation, but was still good to go and play in this one. Let's go to the second half. The Jags are up 10, and this most certainly was the turning point of the game.
It absolutely was. Miami is down 10. They're going in. They're going to make it. Jacksonville's going to make it a 17-point game. Javon Holland knocks the ball out. Put that on the clinic reel for punching it out. Seriously. And this swung the entire game. They're going to go up 17 at this point. One play later, guess who they throw it to?
He's out of the handcuffs.
Tyreek! And he's going to take it 80 yards for the touchdown to cut the lead to 3.
Unreal, their big strike abilities.
Takes away angles. That's unbelievable seeing that.
And check out the celebration. Tyreek Hill said, we had something else planned, but after what happened earlier today, Jalen Waddle had to come uncuff me, okay? And that changed the game. All right, 2 minutes left. Tua, he's going to look and find Jalen Waddle. Now you're starting to work very well together.
This was a big win for Miami because they're winning different ways. They're a great front-running team. They're like Showtime. This was dirty. Sanders was the difference maker. This is the game winner. Huge win for the Dolphins.
Okay, a tumultuous day for Tyreek Hill that ended on a high point. Let's hear from him after the win.
But I do want to be able to use this platform to say, like, what if I wasn't Tyreek Hill, bro? Like, I want to be able to, use this platform, to figure out a way to, like, flip this and, make it a positive on both ends, on my end and then also Miami-Dade, so that way we can team together and, do something positive for the community, because that's what it's all about, bro. I'm just glad that my teammates were there to, like, support me in that situation because I felt alone, and when they showed up, it made me realize that we got a fucking good team this year, dog, for them to, like, put their life on the line, you know what I'm saying? So it was amazing to see, man. Because I know at the end of the day, I still got a job to do. You feel me? And nobody worried about if Reed come in, if he dropped 3 passes because he's still thinking about the little scenario.
It's great to hear Tyreek Hill trying to turn it into a positive, but what would be the latest, Mike Florio?
Well, the support that Tyreek Hill referred to included Calais Campbell, a former Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year. He said after the game he went over to de-escalate the situation. He was handcuffed and cited for disobeying a police officer's order. As to Tyreek Hill, Miami-Dade Police Department Internal Affairs Division has begun an investigation. Agent Drew Rosenhaus told me after the game that the Internal Affairs has reached out to Tyreek Hill to speak to him. Lawyers are considering all options, including possible litigation, and one officer has already been placed on what they are calling administrative duties. Maria.
All right, pretty more news to come from that storyline.
39 down the sideline, he goes. Touchdown, Speed. Hill is up. And the Miami Dolphins have won this football game. What a comeback.
Tyreek Hill's morning began in a most unusual way. Detained by police just a block from the Hard Rock Stadium. In this world of social media, video of it was everywhere almost instantly. And given that Jeff Darlington was there, it was impossible not to think of what happened to Scotty Scheffler at the PGA Championship in Louisville when he was arrested in the early morning hours prior to the second round there. Darlington was on hand. You might recall Scheffler then played tremendous that day, and those charges were eventually dropped. We wonder, is this headed in the same direction? We got some news on that coming up. Hill, like Scheffler, after the stop from the police in the morning, performs in his chosen profession and absolutely brilliant. Tua has Tyreek here but misses him, and the Dolphins This offense was so good last year, too. Of course, led the NFL in passing. Tyreek looked for a while like he might get to 2,000 yards receiving. They had to punt in their first 2 drives of the game. Travis Etienne takes it into the end zone. Jags on the board first, 7-0. Couple of quarterbacks that got the big dough in the offseason. 2 Florida teams that could be playoff teams when we get to the end of this season. There's Christian Kirk, had a relatively quiet day, but he gains 30 on that one. And then Brian Thomas Jr., one of those LSU rooks figuring to do big things. What a grab for his first career score in the NFL. 2 feet in, part of a 4-catch, 47-yard day. Jaguars lead 14-0. Under 3 to go in the first half. 3rd down and 6 completion. Hill stays in bounds, but then steps out. Now 3rd and goal. Devon Achane puts the Dolphins on the board. It's a 17-7 game after a Jags field goal. Now it's Etienne, and he's on his way to the end zone to make this a 17-point 3rd quarter lead, but instead the ball's punched out. That is a taught skill in the NFL. So many players are great at it. Javon Holland knocks it out. Costly turnover for the Jags because it felt like they could kind of put it to bed. I suppose, though, with this team, it's never out of reach because immediately, very next play, Cheetah is gone. An 80-yard score. Tua to Tyreek. And after what happened in the morning, they've already got their celebration planned. Waddle's like, right this way. It's a 17-14 game in the blink of an eye. 4th quarter. Game tied at 17. Manuel Agba is there. Dolphins defense standing tall. Very next play. What a difference maker this man is. Jalen Phillips gets to the backfield. That Dolphins defense was decimated by injury at the end of last year. Phillips went out week 12. They just couldn't be the same without him. 17 all. Tua. Jalen Waddle, he had 5 for 109. That duo both in triple figures in receiving yards on the day. Achane gets this pickup of 10. Jason Sanders comes on. He had missed earlier from 42. This one from 52. Snap, hold, kick. All are good. And at the gun, the Dolphins erase the double-digit deficit. That's how it ended. For more on what happened pregame, here's Jeff Darlington.
It was another Tyreek Hill touchdown that ultimately led to the Dolphins' first win of the season, but it was what happened to Hill before the game that resonated after it. Hill was pulled over for speeding outside of his lease on a reckless driving charge. Now, after the game, Hill talked about the incident, still wondering exactly what it was that happened.
Right now I'm still trying to put it all together, so I'm not going to give you a version that I still don't know what happened. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to say, I do want to be able to use this platform to say, like, what if I wasn't Tyreek Hill, bro? Like, worst case scenario, I want to be able to, you know, use this platform to figure out a way to, like, flip this and, you know, make it a positive on both ends, on my end and then also Miami-Dade, you know, so that way we can team together and, you know, do something positive for the community.
At about the time that Hill was addressing the media after the game, the Miami-Dade Police Department did put out a statement saying that, quote, one of the officers involved in the incident has been placed on administrative duties while the investigation is conducted. Now, to that point, Hill was asked about the officer being placed on administrative leave, and Hill said that should tell you all that you need to know. In Miami Gardens, Jeff Darlington, ESPN.
Word Sunday evening that he and his team, not the Dolphins, but his team that handles his off-field affairs, wondering if they might pursue litigation. We'll see in the coming days. As for the on-field, Tyreek, $112 per game in his 9-career season opener. That's enough history to have some history, and that's the most by any player in NFL history. It's the 5th time he opened the season with at least 125 receiving yards. That breaks the tie with the legend Randy Moss for the most by any player. Hill's dominating performance came after a slow start for the offense, something their quarterback said they need to get sorted out moving forward.
I think collectively as a group offensively, it was just one of those deals where we just needed to get our head out of our ass. That was it. Like, that was it. It was okay, yeah, we're just going to come out here. You know, it's hot. These dudes are probably going to give up a little bit. No, we got punched in the mouth. And that's what you get. How are you going to respond? That's all.
Joined now by Ensworth head football coach Tim Hasselbeck, undefeated. And we're happy. Like last year, I don't know how many times, but it was often. We would look at this Dolphins offense, and you'd show us what they were doing, and there's people running all over Hell's Half Acre. Was that Hill touchdown a variation of some of the things that they've schemed up in the past? A new sort of spoke in the wheel?
Yeah, kind of like 2.0 version, like plays off of plays. A lot of times we see in the National Football League, and a lot of times you see shot plays after turnovers. So you showed in the highlight, ETN fumbles the football. Well, it's 1st and 10. So is it a shot play backed up on your own 20? For Mike McDaniel, yeah, it is. And so we know that they're great at running all those RPOs. Well, when you run RPOs, the ball comes out quickly. And the reason it comes out quickly is because you're blocking the run. And so now you have a play off of a play. It's going to look like the RPO game. Motion the back out of the backfield. That brings a defender with them. Because of the action, the linebacker is going to step up, and they love to throw that glance in behind the linebackers. But the safeties start to get nosy to take that away, and here's your shot. A little pump to that glance, and there's Tyreek Hill able to keep his speed up and score. I will say, last year we talked about stuff that we hadn't seen before, right? We talked about that little, cheat motion. We talked about all the different things that they would do. This is another version, kind of like an RPO double move, which I know you love the double moves, but it's like an RPO double move shot. It was really good at a key time.
Yeah, I mean, that was the game where, again, if ETN doesn't fumble, you're up 17 points. That offense is explosive, but that's a big number to make up in about 17 minutes' time. Instead, they don't get the 6. Miami gets it, and then they end up winning at the end. The game that we just followed, an overtime game.
Great job, Dolphins.